yeah, that's me, in Shanghai, performing solo. But as cool as this was, it was really the journey that made it special. So, let me indulge myself here and... Okay, rewind. So, I'm an Erhuist living in a country where chances to go back to my roots and learn a traditional Erhu classic are pretty slim. So, imagine my excitement when I open my laptop and see that I've been accepted to a summer program at the Shanghai Conservatory of Music. One plane flight montage later and I'm here. Okay, so here's how the program works. I have 20 days in Shanghai to learn a new Erhu classic from the ground up, and at the end I'll get to perform it. And hopefully not make a fool out of myself. Learning a traditional Erhu classic from the source was an opportunity I could not afford to waste, so despite the hustle and bustle of a brand new environment, I just had one main quest in mind. Practice. This is the practice room. Whew. I'm sweaty, and I just feel like I walked maybe a mile, but I'm feeling good. Time to practice. At this point, I had only just begun, and I kind of anticipated the whole program to just be more of this. Practice, lessons, and more practicing, just constantly channeling the one-track focus of a headed god of perseverance until the final performance. But then, on day 3, I got a text from some of the other students and... yeah, I can't say no to hot pot. Okay, so this is probably where I have to apologize to you as the viewer, because besides a couple shots of the waiting room and the food, I had too good of a time to remember to film anything. I had an inkling of it that night, but I wouldn't realize until much later just how much happiness I would get out of simply interacting with these truly wonderful people. And I'm not just saying that because some of them recognize me from my videos on Erhu for All, although that was really, really cool. We were from all over the place, from the US and UK to the Philippines and Malaysia. And yet, here we all were, just getting along and enjoying a big old hot pot in Shanghai. That was really special. The students from the Philippines even introduced me to this childhood snack of theirs that they found at a booth downstairs. Now, that was a really nice way to wrap up a meal. I tagged along a bit more, got the obligatory selfie at the Pearl Tower, and then it was back to the hotel for what I imagined would be a harsh snap back to the long, straight and narrow main quest of practice. The main quest was back in full force, so I just put all of my focus on seriously preparing for the upcoming intro lesson. No time to smell the roses. Practice, food, sleep, and bam! It was the day of the lesson. Okay, but yeah, I guess time for the first lesson soon, and I've practiced, I've prepared, watched videos, so... okay, I'm set, I'm ready.
1 hour later.
Okay, that was a really good lesson. Where'd it go? Where did it even start? I have a new piece now. Can't wait. Yes. Okay, so at this point I had just figured out what Erhu classic I was going to learn. To get across just how difficult this piece was going to be for past me, let's play a quick game of Spot the Difference. Erhu Classic Edition. I can do a quick, cool transition here. Hang on. Okay. 1, 2... First up is 病中吟, or Soliloquy of Sickness. Its composer, Liu Tianhua, composed this during a period of depression from a triple blow of poverty, unemployment, and the recent loss of his father. Next up we have You Xin Qu, or Song of a Worried Heart, another work by Liu Tianhua that this time depicts the composer's worries for the future of his country and home. Third, we have the Erhu classic Erchen Yingyue, or The Moon's Reflection over Erchen. This piece is a musical autobiography depicting the life of struggle of its blind composer Abing and how he strived to survive through the years. Its perception by the masses could be summed up as the musical definition of sadness. Lastly, we have Detours, or The Grapes Are Ripe. This piece depicts the bustling, celebratory atmosphere of Xinjiang's grape harvest season and pays tribute to the music of the weaker people. The rhythm, phrasing, and ornaments reflect singing and dancing of that region, and each movement is written to convey a different type of happiness. Can you spot the difference? For the past few years, all of the Erhu classics I've learned have been serious, pensive pieces. If you can't put yourself in those shoes, then it's hard to play the piece at all. So suddenly having to switch gears and learn such a happy piece about harvesting grapes definitely caught me off guard. But if there was anything I knew about unfamiliar things, it was that there was one pretty good answer for that. Practice. New quest. A classmate of ours actually knows where the bookstore is that we can get a lot of music books from. You know, like really hard to get knowledge outside of China. So, yeah, new side quest. Oh boy, this is hidden. It just starts from here and then like this. Okay, I guess I'll go in.有人吗？
进来。
哦，你好，这就是原动音乐书店吗？
对。
哦，好的好的。Funny at its aside, this bookstore was the literal definition of a diamond in the rough. Not only were the books supremely pristine, but the manager was also a really down-to-earth guy. Even gave us 20% discounts for getting multiple books. If, for whatever reason, you're in Shanghai and you need music scores, go ahead and check this place out. It's on GPS. You won't regret it. God dang it, I got distracted again. Okay, I need to get more serious on practicing. I didn't care if my head fell off. It would be grueling, but in the spirit of the god of perseverance Xingtian, I would practice for as long as I could, and then some. I'm also just realizing that I never mentioned who this beheaded perseverance god was, so essentially, Xingtian was this giant who rebelled against the heavenly emperor. So as punishment, the emperor cleaved his head clean off, which would typically end things. However, Xingtian did not simply give up and die. He blindly searched for his head, and when that didn't work, grew a face out of his chest, grabbed his axe and shield, and kept fighting, now while laughing. Long, anatomically perplexing story short, Xingtian was my mental symbol of perseverance. It didn't matter if I practiced at the point where my soundbox pad fell apart, or if I got a blister on top of my already existing callus. I was gonna keep on going and even laugh about it a bit along the way. Oh wow, I haven't seen this in ages. How do I explain this? Okay, so when you hold the bow, your index finger is rubbing against the bow, and if you're a beginner, you have to develop a callus in order to, you know, not get a blister. I have a callus, but I've practiced for so long that I actually still got, oh come on, focus. Come on. I actually got a blister, which is, I mean, I remember this feeling, but this was years ago that I had a blister last time, so I'm making progress on stamina at least. Oh man, well earned. But would that practice intensity mean I was ready? I was about to find out.
我给你提一个建议，就是你的弓子好像感觉太松了。
哦，我的弓子。
对，因为你前面的就那一长段，你弓子太松了，反而就前面不够跳跃。
My bow being weirdly loose was just the tip of the iceberg though, because other problems I had with my bowing technique, not knowing when to let up, not having enough contrast and volume, not knowing where to put the right accents, those turned out to be symptoms of an overarching mental problem that's simply being too serious. In the moment I had kind of forgotten, yes, perseverance is good, but there's more than one direction to channel perseverance towards. Yes, I was putting all of my time into technical practice, into checking into a practice room morning, noon, and night, but charging in that direction, almost inadvertently treating outings with newfound friends as detours, kind of missed the point of what a piece like The Grapes Are Ripe was supposed to depict. It took a bit of thinking to figure out how to actually implement this realization, but I eventually got somewhere. I would still continue to channel the spirit of that beheaded giant Xingtian, but now I would simply change direction. I still practiced hard. I still jumped into a practice room whenever I could, looked back at lesson recordings and took notes. But now, whenever there is a group event, I made the conscious decision to simply enjoy it. If another Urbu student happened to stop by, just as I was about to leave, why not make it a jam session? If we have an opera lecture and the professor is offering to teach us a percussion excerpt, why not go ahead and try it? And if there happened to be a really cool manager at the cafe I stopped by who gave me the address of a restaurant managed by musicians that also happens to be next to a bunch of art galleries, I can make time to enjoy those things, to feel happy without feeling guilty for not constantly charging towards that single direction of technical practice.
These are pretty. That smells pretty good.
These experiences would not go to waste. They would be emotional references to help me better understand what the joys of a grape harvest are supposed to sound like, to feel like. And come the student-led workshop, when we had to demonstrate what we learned so far, I feel like I was finally able to play my excerpt with that right sort of excitement. In my teacher's words, she said playing that section with my current skill level would make my classmates think, "Ta太牛了," and she wasn't wrong. I was starting to get the hang of this piece now, not just technically, but also mentally. Not only did I know that you needed late crescendos in this section of the piece, but I more importantly learned that this was to create a sense of flowing, of singing, of expressing the vastness of the local landscape. And with just 2 days before the final performance, it was time to charge through one last quest item.
Piano accompanist. This is so cool.
It was a mad dash to squeeze in a single rehearsal of piano accompaniment, but I lucked out and got a really good pianist. Now, all I had to do was record a reference for the pianist to practice with on her own and... Wait, that clear plastic bit, that hasn't been there before, which is concerning. It's okay. I'm sure my bow can hold together just a bit longer. I mean, the final concert is in just a day and a half. Okay, this is okay. Just gotta channel that inner god of perseverance and... Let my teacher know about the broken bow. Pray to Xingtian that she knows a place that sells Urbu bows. Jump for joy when she says she knows a guy. Wake up bright and early the next day and trek to the guy's place. Pay for carefully chosen bow. Rouse him up like there's no tomorrow because there literally isn't. Remember that the Urbu uses both sides of the bow and rouse on the other side like there's no tomorrow because there literally isn't. Practice like my butt's on fire to adjust the new bow. Alright, we're gonna need that. Thank you, newfound friends, for reminding me about that. Then sleep. Day 20 was both the fastest and slowest day of this whole adventure. My last-minute practice sessions to adjust to the new bow flew by, but as I sat there in the audience, watching my classmates perform the pieces they had been working on for just as long as me, I began to realize a couple things. One, oh god, this is going to be the first time I performed an Urbu piece solo abroad. How did I get here? And two, my family is here to watch me. my teachers here for support, and the friends I had made these past 3 weeks, the friends who had helped me to form a deeper connection to the very piece I was about to play, were all here. There was no better audience I could think of for my very first solo performance abroad. You know, looking back, I think less about the actual performance and more about what came after. The last few group photos, patting each other on the back for making it through regardless of skill level, and the farewell gathering where we got together and simply shared a few last laughs. And this is where I was going to end it. This would have been the end of the video, but it turns out some of my newfound friends had one last surprise for me. Studying at the Shanghai Conservatory of Music was an amazing experience. Yes, it was hard, just like all worthwhile things, but it's what I learned along this journey that really made me happy. And simply being that perseverance is better with pals. Oh boy! Yeah, this was one of those out there videos compared to the other projects I've done here on Erhu for All. If you liked it, awesome! If not, don't worry, I don't think I have it in me to compile another vlog like this again anytime soon. Also, quick announcement, I've made a second channel where you can view just the performances/music videos that I make at the end of these adventures. I know that a lot of you come here just for the music at the end, mainly because that used to be all I did here on Erhu for All. And that's completely fine. So if you do just want the music, feel free to head on over to Erhu to All, where I plan to simply play Erhu to all of you. In addition to my performance of The Grapes Are Ripe and the final covers of my past 6 projects, you will also be able to see another piece I performed at the conservatory that I didn't even get to cover in this video. Hopefully you enjoy, and if you ever want to see the story behind the final performances, you can always come back here. With that, thank you for tagging along. I hope I can see you another time. And as always, I hope you're well, wherever you are.